How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to Russell Heritage Golf. Today we're talking about the transition, so to the start to the downswing. And I've got a useful little tip, right, for you. First and foremost, let's talk about the problem that I tend to see with most golfers is that they tend to slide, if you like, so excessively shift towards that lead side, which then means that you get stuck and potentially a little bit too flippy. Most golfers are endeavouring to improve their impact position, and the way that impact actually improves is through rotation. So what I've got really for you is a very simple exercise. It's something that if you're, a little bit, concerned about doing down the driving range then, and a bit potentially self-conscious, I understand that. So maybe it's something that you could do at home. But nevertheless, what I'm going to use is 2 buckets. The idea is that you would kind of set up, I'd swing up towards the top and pause, and then if I transition, which means that I either pull my lead hit back or I trigger a more central rotation, you can see the way that both knees miss the bucket itself. So what should happen for those of you that are used to sliding is that if you did actually try and transition how you normally would, then you'd probably find that your trail knee would start to strike the buckets. Now, inevitably what happens in the golf swing is you have to trigger a hip extension at some point. So you can't necessarily hit balls with this drill anyway. But what you can do down the range is set it up somewhere behind you so that it's not necessarily in your way, or like I said, it's something that you can do at home. And like I've been talking a lot about on the channel recently, don't underestimate the importance of doing mirror movement. So maybe you could get yourself set up and do, say, a dozen transitions. So this way, or even if you moved with more rotation this way, it doesn't necessarily matter. We're just trying to eliminate that sort of natural inclination to slide that trail knee into the bucket first. So you're trying to go here and here. And then maybe once you've done a dozen of those, then you get yourself up next to the golf ball. Maybe have another little rehearsal swing over the ball where you kind of do the same sort of feeling, where you're turning back, pulling that lead hit back to make sure that you get that same sort of feeling in transition. What will happen is that if you video it, or if you did enough repetitions of the correct sort of movement, then what will happen eventually is you'll start to feel the difference between right and wrong, and therefore you've got a much greater chance of improving that contact when you next play, or at least getting the right sort of feeling in your practice session. Really simple drill. Try and avoid in the transition of not knocking the buckets over would mean that you're triggering a much better rotation, which means that therefore if you're triggering a rotation at the start of the downswing, your impact is going to start to look a hell of a lot more desirable. Hope you appreciate the video. Always appreciate a thumbs up. Remember, it's absolutely free to press that subscribe button. If you're going to do that, you might as well press the little bell icon. Work on that transition and catch up with you guys again soon.